Are you upset? And is that reality? Or is that a twin flame delusion? Let's look into that. And particularly, let's talk about what happens when you are upset about me. Because that happens sometimes. And you can be touched by my work because you come closer and come to our group and get into contact in a live event online with each other and have a wonderful conversation. And you can choose to donate some money if you want that, and you can choose to buy a reading for me, for instance, and then things start to work for you and inside of you, and something starts to happen because I am a person and my methodology stands for a power that both means that the relationship between the method and the divine is repaired. And that meeting with me and that meeting with my method, with my reading, for instance, only one of the small things one of the things that I have, and that's a small part of the entirety. And that then starts to work on you because we come from a place where the relationship with the divine is healed, is corrected, which does mean harmonious twin flame union, and you can come into contact with that. And that has a working on you. It does something to you. It's like that is the healing itself almost. Besides the fact that you've got to take it on for yourself, choose it for yourself too. As a result of everything that we share. So, what if you do something like that? And what if it then comes out that it touches you indeed, but it touches you to such an extent that you're upset and you think it is because of me and or my method and or my reading? Now you're upset and you're angry and you're insulted and you're fearful and you're just upset. You feel outside of your body from emotion because of what happened. And according to you, what happened was that I did something nasty, something awful, because that must have been it, because you're upset, right? There was something in my reading. There was something in my methodology that is of the devil. That must have been it, right? Because you are upset. So now I made a mistake. I am the culprit. I am the devil. My method is the devil. Everything that I did was wrong, isn't it? Because you're upset, right? That's the sign that there's something wrong with me. Or is it actually? Is that a sign that there's something wrong with me? When you are already upset, that is very difficult to research, to think about that question if that's right. I understand that. And that's why the general advice in any case is always do the key tool with 4 steps that I got from Divine Mother. It will certainly help you, even when you think I did it to you. It helps always. We have 2 versions. You can come to practice that in our Facebook group. The link to that is in the description box below. We have events there that you can come to learn it. We have downloads that will help you immediately to practice this 4-step tool called Key. and much, much more. Explanation videos, posts that discuss all kinds of angles. And particularly, of course, for twin flames, because it's a healing tool for twin flames. Absolutely. So that's what I would always advise. Whether you're upset about me or your twin flame or someone else or something else or whatever it is. But let's, for this video about twin flame delusions, look a little closer. If it is about me, that I did it when you think it is about me. That's what I should say, right? All right. So, because I have repaired my relationship with the divine, that is not so. Because of the idea that psychologists have introduced that is called projection, that is not so. Because you are the one that is upset and not me, that is not so. What happens is that something happened and inside of you, something was arising, something came up inside of you that was overtaking you with fear and anger and upset. Because you indeed saw something out there that caused you to start feeling something that is inside of you that was already inside you. And now something happened in your perception. That thing that was inside of you starts to come up. It might be trauma of yourself that you already had. It was hidden inside of you, and now it comes up with a vengeance, and you're completely blinded and surrounded by fear, anger, and upset. And it then appears as if it was caused by the perceived situation out there, which might have been me. But it was actually something inside of you that was already there, and now it was awakened. And that thing that is awakened, that actually used this thing outside of itself that it perceived, which might have not really been there, but it was perceived by you as an excuse to be able to arise, and not for you to have a bad time, but actually for this reason. Because you came for healing. Even when you weren't really fully prepared for it or consciously deciding it, but your soul decided that they wanted it. So here is your opportunity for healing. It came up to be noted so that you can start to heal it yourself. And you used the projection on the outside world, on me, to have the excuse to have this come up, but you needed to heal anyway. What your soul knew that you wanted and needed to heal on a deep level, even when you don't really feel that you consciously chose that. And why does it happen like that? Well, we don't want to see the trauma inside of ourselves voluntarily. And that's why it occurs to you that you're going to see this in the outside world. You're going to see it in the projection. You're going to see it in me. That's what projection is. You see it in the other while it is actually from yourself. And that happens at a moment when you come to a real twin flame teacher that has repaired the relationship with the divine, because you always on your soul level come to me for your soul level healing. But you're not prepared to see the thing inside of yourself voluntarily that you're needing to heal, actually, that you came to me to heal it for. that you came to me for, to be healed. Well, anyway, the order of the words, I think I brought it across. What you came to me for. You don't want to see it voluntarily inside of yourself. That's why it appears to you like this, that you see it outside of yourself. That's where you're prepared to see it. That's where you're prepared to point to. That's where you're prepared to lay the blame if need be. And then it's my fault, you know. That's how that happens. And that can be very divine, as long as you use that within the conscious bubble of understanding that this happens, so that you can heal something inside of yourself that it was all about in the first place and in the last place and in its entirety. It's not me that came for healing, you came to me for healing. That's why it happens like that. Because you asked for healing. And that can be okay that you project it on me and see it here in some sort of way that is logic in your perception. I didn't experience all of that. That can be like that, and that's okay to the extent of that you know that you are conscious within this healing bubble that we have here, that it was all the time only about yourself, and you are going to take responsibility and you are going to start to heal this thing. What is not okay is keep on doing as if I have a problem. After the moment of recognition that was spiritual, therapeutically necessary for you is over. That's not okay. That's disrespectful. And now you not only have to work on your own trauma, but you also will need to repair the relationship with me. This happens a lot. People come in connection and it already starts to work for them, what they came for. Something starts to arise inside of them. It is a big trauma, huge. Screaming, awful. And it means that came up because it was inside of you and it calls for you to be healed by you. And that's my function. That's why I'm here. It means that it works. It means that the reading, for instance, works. It does not mean that you're angry because it doesn't work, because now you feel worse. No, dude, my reading is a healing that starts to work in the invisible from soul to soul already, just like that, after you've placed your investment. Even before I've completed writing down your entire reading. It's a sign that it works. It's a sign that this is a place where your healing is safe, because it works guaranteed. It works already when you place your investment. It works automatically. It works on the deepest level till below your trauma, so that you unearth your trauma and can work it out. It means that it works. This is a place where things work. So I am a great tool for healing myself. And you will understand that when you heal your projection, you poured onto me yourself. So let's move on to the second twin flame delusion. When you, like me, start to speak up on twin flames on YouTube, on the internet in general, but especially on YouTube also, and you make a couple videos and then a couple more, did you know? I think you didn't know this, but now you know after I told you this. What happens is The twin flame police will come around to check you out if you're doing it okay. If you're actually thinking the right ideas and executing the right things to their standards. They're going to test you if you are up to standards in their truth-finding mission about twin flames. And when you don't, oh, I promise you they'll be back. Because, did you know that these check moments, they just need to be regularly undertaken by the twin flame police. They just need to come back to your channel every once in a while. They just have their schedule at home. They know when they should come to your channel again to check, if you learned your lesson, if you already said something better that suits their agenda better, that is more conform what they think that you should be saying. Did you know that? There's so much on schedule as well, They're just like, oh, it's Friday again. We need to go back to Petra's channel because she might have a new video, Maybe I should just check it out. And, then I also did my work. And, my boss will be happy with me that I did my twin flame policing on Friday again. God will send me to heaven, I'm sure of that, after I die. They will look for things like this. Are you even a twin flame? Because, we're not all twin flames. So, yeah, we need to be suspicious about that, with you in particular. Are you living your mission? And, you're doing that for free, aren't you? Because that's what it says here. And that's the rules of the twin flame police. It needs to be for free. Everything needs to be for free, like 48 hours per 24 hours. You need to work for free in the twin flame mission on YouTube. And I'm just checking that out, if you're doing that, so that, I can just give you my guarantee sticker. And are you living your mission, or are you doing something that also benefits you? That is really, really, I don't know if that's correct, It mustn't benefit you yourself. You're only here for me, to tell me what I need to hear, and especially what I want to hear. And they're looking for something like this. Are you part of the 144,000 special light worker people on the earth? Because if you're not, I'm just wasting my time here, and you just get an incredible minus on your twin flame police report, because that's not okay. You know that very well, Petra. So, well, for now, you just get a warning, but otherwise, no. Okay, I'll be back, you know that. Are you really in union? And does that union of yours follow my definition of it? That's important, because I think that we first go to the serial harmonious, and then we go to the union mountaintop, and sometimes it can be upside down, but then it'll be, more dispersed and in your consciousness and in time both. But you can sort of repair that when you go in the elevator and go back to the moon. So this is what I have experienced. So now you know that this is indeed my definition of union. And are you following that? Until now, I don't really have the idea that you're following my definition. So that would be, for this Friday, you get another minus. I'm just really sorry, Petra, but that's another minus. You really have a whole lot of minuses on my report. I'm just saying, so that you are aware that you're not going anywhere with us here, you know? So you better do your best from now on. Otherwise, you don't represent our twin flame collective. Are you validating my preconceived notions? Because that's important, you know. I need not to repair my trauma or my unconscious hurts and upsets. Oh, no, no, no. What I need to do on a twin flame journey is just come to your channel and check out if you validate my preconceived notions. If I buy a reading from you, I need to be reflected back to me my preconceived notions, because that's what will help you will help me when you acknowledge me, not when I look into my deep trauma and in my upsets and in my blocks to my harmonious union. No, 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 no. You just need to validate my preconceived notions. So that's another minus on your list, so that you know. And they ask also themselves, are you a new age bullshitter? Because, you know, people that talk about the Master Christ and people that talk about the angels and people that talk about, well, twin flames in general, actually, you know, and also like people that talk about things that look a little bit like theosophy, and people that talk about things that just look a little bit like a magic language. They're just all new age bullshitters, and you know it. And you're one of them. So that's another letdown for your twin flame police report. But we also need to know, do you work together with other unions? Like my union, you know, we're not together or anything, and I just don't have any idea if this is my true twin flame. But I mean, we want to work together with you, you know, because that's how we work here. We just need to work together in unions, and they need to click together. And yeah, that's especially important when you're still a student and you have no idea if you're in harmonious union yet, or if it even is your true twin flame. You're still very much learning the tools, but you know, we need to be exactly on the same level in all regards. And you just need to like my page and work together with me, because I am passionate. I'm not with my twin flame or anything, but I am passionate, and you need to be wanting to work with me. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna, yeah. I don't know how else to answer that. I'm sorry. I know that I will be having another minus on my report. And that's worth it to me, because I'd rather live in reality. And they also want to know if I also didn't need a teacher, because they certainly didn't. No. They didn't need a teacher, right? No, they just, you know, they're just inspired by God, by sitting underneath the tree of life. And, you know, the universe tells them things, and that's enough, because they're not in union yet, and absolutely not in harmonious union, and their mission is also not blooming or anything. But that's how it works, and you don't need a teacher, and you also don't have a teacher, right? Just like I don't have a teacher. Well, you couldn't be more wrong, but I know this will cost me another few points on my scale, you know, as a YouTube twin flame speaker and teacher. Yeah, I know. I should do my best more, you know, to be clicked in with the requirements. Yeah. I should have read them better before I started to speak on YouTube. That's true. Yeah. Silly me. And then, on top of all of this, they want to know, are you even kundalini realized? Because otherwise, you are of no use to me. because that's where everything happens. And everybody knows that, Petra. Everybody knows that it's all about energetic phenomena. Oh, we never come together with them or get into a marriage with them or anything. But, you know, it's in the energetic phenomena that it happens. Didn't you know that? Well, I actually do, and I have fully experienced that. But I don't talk about it on the foreground for a reason. And I reserve certain things that I can just assist people only when necessary, with that I know that certain things happen. And I reserve them for my private coaching. All right. Dear Twin Flame Police, I know that my scores are very low today. I implore you to give me the lowest score that you can find. Put it on paper, print it out, send me the certificate of -48. I might have the record of minus scores. And then I say to you, you are free now. You are free. You don't need to work anymore. You can go home, grab a cup of tea, and relax. Thank you so much for attending my lecture. And now we're going to go to point number 3 about twin flame delusions. Stop stalking Katy Perry! Your twin flame is not famous, except when you yourself are famous too. Well, that's the end of number 3. Period. End of story. I have needed to say to someone, stop stalking Katy Perry. But I'm quite sure that they're still doing it. Online stalking, but still the same. They were even presenting Katy Perry porn. It was really disgusting. How can you do that when you purport to have Katy Perry as your twin flame? Katy Perry is not your twin flame, because then that would most probably mean that you yourself also have a similar mission. And you would also have a heartfelt desire to be out there for the millions to watch and to be in the limelight over the entire world or Western world. In some sort of way, maybe in a similar entertainment kind of way or something like that, because that's not an average desire that people have in their soul. That's very particular. So, yeah. And you are clearly not on the screens of all TVs over the entire Western world at the same time for years. So that's clearly an enormous gap between you and your twin flame in your underlying values and your mission and what your heart calls out for, to be for other people together. So that is simply most probably not correct for you. It's not them for you. But they might have portrayed something to you that has touched you in some way, through which you can learn something, through which you can heal some sort of trauma inside of yourself when you would follow that path of what that touched inside of you. And then when you really heal from that with the key tool, you will go a long way with that. When you truly heal from that, you might be revealed who your actual true twin flame is. And that's most often the case, that they are already quite in your neighborhood at that time when you're truly healed from that upset inside of yourself that made you believe that this incredibly famous person is your twin flame. So be glad that the famous person helped you heal your upset, helped you heal your block to your harmonious union. But then you gotta see it in the right perspective. Sometimes I have heard people have a twin flame they believe that is a musician. I couldn't speak it. I couldn't say it, but no, I did it. Musician. And then they're like, yeah, and they are sort of famous, and I met them on a concert. But then I heard that they are also a musician that is maybe a bit less famous, but they're still also in production, you know, they're working in their steel. They're also making music. Maybe it's that the person that they think is their twin flame is more like a pop musician that is there for moderate amounts of people in crowds on live concert, and you're more like a studio musician or someone that writes music or makes music for businesses or something. And that looks more as though you're more turned inwards, more in the studio kind of thing. But then you would still be sort of kind of be in the same realm, you know? That could be, yeah, even when there are actually a relatively okay amount of fans, you know, out there in the world for that twin flame that you think is your twin flame. Yeah, okay, that comes absolutely more in the direction of what is possible for twin flames and what would actually be twin flames. It is very inviting to project your desires of the ultimate lover onto a famous person that appears on your screen in some sort of way. But think about it. What do you truly stand for? Can it be your twin flame? Probably not, but use it as a means to heal yourself. And when you go deeper there and you do feel healed, the delusion will naturally fall away. You will thank the delusion because now you can move on, because you have now a correct relationship with yourself, whereas before you did not, and probably not had any relationship with yourself. And you can now move on to the true twin flame that is still out there for you, I promise you. And it is very likely, again, that they now will actually be very close, in very close vicinity to you already, because you did the healing work. And they will be revealed to you pretty soon. I hope this helped, and hooray for nonsense in Fantasyland. This was Petra, and I would love to see you in this new video that I will send you to right here. YouTube will send you to the one that is best for you to watch right now. Love from Petra.